What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Birdhouse Sports Show. As always, this is Son.
And this is Pops. We got college, we got NFL, we got a lot of things going on. Just wait and see. We got something to tell y'all right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, look, y'all. Want to apologize that we haven't recorded in a while. A lot of that was due to me. As I mentioned in our last episode,
Traveling man.
I was traveling. I had a great opportunity to see my Eagles in person. So I actually went to the MetLife Stadium and was there at the Thursday night game in person, complimentary of my company. Had a great time. We had an entire suite, clubhouse suite dedicated to us. I had the best seat in the house. Buffet was provided. It was a great experience. Shout out to MetLife. But unfortunately, even though I came with my chains, I came all eagled out. Eagle fans showed up and showed out. We came deep. We got destroyed. We couldn't stop a cold. Just to show y'all here, Eagles lost 34-17 against two rookie players. I repeat again, two rookie players. That's Jackson Dart and Scatterboo, as I kept hearing in MetLife. Scatterboo, man. Look, they killed us. It really showed that we don't have a lot of depth on defense. Before we talk about the offense, let's talk about the defense. On the defensive side, we actually lost Quinyon Mitchell, I think, early in the game, and we had to pretty much rely on Ringo and Adoree Jackson. Both are garbage. Ringo, I'll give him another shot. He has up and down games. But Adoree Jackson, man, my gosh, he can't stop anything. I mean, Jackson Dart was able to throw the ball with ease. Also, no pass rush. No pressure up front. Nothing from Davis. Nothing from our edge rushers. Scatterboo punked Bond, pretty much ran Bond over multiple times. They just had the will, man, the will. You saw how much the city has embraced Jackson Dart. I saw up close and personal. When Jackson Dart went down for a couple of minutes and Russell Wilson came in the game and laid an egg, literally had a wide open receiver in front of him. He threw the ball on the ground. The boos were so loud. But you did see, you did on the sideline, I'm watching, you could see Jackson Dart come out of the blue tent. The crowd wasn't even watching the game. They was watching the tent. When he came out the tent and he started jogging, the crowd went crazy. When the man hit the field again and Jackson Dart returned, I should have recorded it. They put a Jedi, Star Wars Jedi, a graphic of him.
Boy, they're going to go. Yeah,
Boy,
go out.
They love them some Jackson Dart, man. So give it to him. Give it to Scatterboo, who's all man. Scatterboo is all man and handle his business. Now, let me flip it to the offense real quick. It's been an issue since week one. And I'm starting to question, too, with Jay. I think Jalen's a great quarterback. But sometimes I also question him and the offensive coordinator and the coach. Why is the playbook so simple? Is it simple because that's what works for Jalen? Or is it simple because, this is just the scheme that Sirianni like to run? Because you don't do anything clever. We haven't been able to get a running game going. You could predict, once again, every play we're going to run. You give the same boring routes to Brown. Then Jalen, when there are opportunities to capitalize and Brown is wide open or Smitty's wide open, he overthrows his receivers constantly. And you can't be the former Super Bowl MVP and you laying an egg like that, and you laying the egg almost every week. I don't know what my offense is right now. I don't recognize them. I don't blame Brown for saying anything he has to say because his quarterback is not backing up his receivers. One, with poor quarterback play. Two, our offensive line this is the worst I've ever seen it. I know we have a lot of injuries, but Howie, we rely on you to give us some depth, and we don't see it. Saquon can't even get to the line of scrimmage before there's somebody grabbing on his jersey. So anyway, I don't know if we are a Super Bowl caliber team this year, given everything that's going on. But man, right now we look pretty bad, and I was hurt. We already lost to the Broncos, but then to lose to the Giants, I anyway. What's your thoughts on it? I'm hoping for the best for my Eagles right now, but we got to find an identity. We got to get these players healthy. Landon Dickinson hopefully return. Jalen Carter's supposed to return next week. We still don't have Nolan Smith. He's out. He's out on IR. Howie, man, you need to do something before the. And to mention Smith, the DN we just picked up from free agency, announced his retirement this week. Our leading sack player for this season just retired middle of the week. So now we don't even have our most powerful DN anymore. He decided to call quits. So anyway, you take over. I don't even know what my team's going to do right now.
Yes, people. Yes, yes, yes. I wanted to say shout out to my two uncles. They're fans. Shout out to my son. He's a fan. My young cousins. They some of them are Giant fans. Um, Kudos to the Giants. Sorry for the part of the other side of the Birdhouse loss, but I think Jalen Hurts have a mental situation going on. I'm not gonna say it's too negative, and he got to get out of his own closet. I don't know what's going on with him and the OC, and I don't know what's the head coaches. They challenging each other. They always go through these little rotten
It's
times, and
crazy.
it's not called for. But the OC got to do a lot better. This ain't high school. This ain't college. This is professional. You got superstar wide receivers, a Hall of
Right.
Fame running back. You got a tight end. You got all great linemen. You got good fillings. Jalen Hurts got to wake up. I don't know why he's playing that way or what he's thinking about, but the real story is what's really going on with his mental space and why is he in denial about what's really going on with his passing towards AJ. He looked good towards Smith, but as soon as he throw towards AJ, it looked like hot garbage, and AJ got to make a super play just to make a basic play, and it shouldn't be like that. That shouldn't be like that. To switch back to the other side, um, the Giants looking good. Them two guys that's rookies turning their whole team momentum around, and it's being special about how they play and how they go about it. Like my son said, they was looking at the tent before Dart came out of the tent, and when he came out of the tent, just a little bit of his momentum juiced up the whole arena. And then when he walked on the field and they did him like he's Camelot or somebody,
Right.
it was
Right.
crazy. You know what I mean? But
Right.
you'll get that. You'll get that when they got a young stud going to do what he got to do, and they got a running back with a name Scatterboo. So they yelling his name, and he's showing he ain't trying to get scattered. He gonna scatterboo you if you come try to stop him. So he's playing big, and he's doing well. As far as the Eagles defense, hey, from my side of it, I ain't got much to talk about because we got a lot of fixing ourselves. But they could do a whole lot better than what they doing. They making business decisions, and it's not a positive one. At the end of the year, a lot of checks gonna get canceled. A lot of things gonna happen where the team look brand new next year. I can see that for the Ravens. I can see that for the Eagles. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know what else to say right now. We got the Vikings coming up next. I I don't know what's going on with my Eagles this year. And matter of fact, we're going to talk about all these games, most of these games. The NFL is wide open. There is no clear favorite right now because every Super Bowl, contender right now or whatever, everybody got at least two losses now for the most part, except for like the Colts or whatever. But come on, even still, Everybody can be beaten. But once again,
It
man,
might be a Cinderella team this year. It might be. It
right,
might be some team that we don't give no credit to.
right, and just one. Let me say this: I never heard a player get booed so bad. Russell Wilson, please retire. Just let Jameis Winston be the backup. Go ahead and step away, enjoy your lovely wife and your lovely kids, and just live a good life. You're done. You're done. And I would say this once again. We apologize. Took so long to do another episode because not only did I go to that game, we'll talk about it later on, but also went to the Monday night game last night. I was at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium watching the Falcons and the Buffalo Bills in person at the stadium. That was incredible. Shout out to Tigger, Jeezy that did the halftime show, and a whole bunch of other artists and stuff that was there. Atlanta is like a concert, more than just an NFL game. But anyway, we're gonna switch it to woo another team. uh,
I knew when the woo started what you was doing to me. Oh
we're
boy,
gonna
boy,
switch it
boy,
to
boy, boy.
the to the Rams beating what the 1-5 now Ravens lost 17-3. You
Go
had
Ravens!
good old Cooper Rush from used to be on the Dallas Cowboys. He was 11 for 19 with 72 yards. Whew.
And then we had to take him
One
out.
interception, had to take him out, put in Tyler Huntley, who Tyler Huntley should have started. Tyler Huntley looked much cleaner. I think you could have gave him maybe a chance if he would have started from the beginning. He was 10 for 15, 68 yards. He also ran the ball 3 times for 39 yards. I don't know why you got Cooper Rush as your back. Tyler Huntley got you guys to the playoffs before. Do not put Cooper Rush in there. Start Tyler Huntley if Lamar is not ready by next game. But there are rumors that he will
Lamar
be
be
ready.
ready.
He'll be ready.
Lamar be ready.
You also had Matt Stafford. Didn't have his. He had an okay game, but he was 17 for 26. He had 181 yards, 1 TD. He was sacked twice. They didn't have much of a running game, but overall, he did enough to get them the victory. The fact that
But
they kept the Ravens to 3 was just crazy. But what's your thoughts on this game?
I'm taking a somewhat of a positive out of this because we didn't get blown out by the Rams. They didn't have a running game, so them backup linebackers was sufficient in somewhat stopping the Rams because they had to hit them in the air to get off and a field goal. So I mean that was a promising look that things got a little better. Where the bad part is the ending of the game, we couldn't stop them from scoring. They scored 14 more points than we did, so can't really give credit on that. As far as the offense go, like we said with Wilson, my man needs to go ahead and just call it a day and put Huntley in and
Right,
let him start the
right,
game. Make him third string, or he could retire himself because he ain't doing nothing he did for Dallas for us. And not the shame is probably he probably don't really care no more. It's
right.
not in him no more. He got what he got. You know what I mean? More power to him. But I think he should go ahead on because he's looking sorry. Everybody hanging around for a paycheck, and you got to get rid of that and put some younger guys around Lamar so have a true backup in case Lamar go down again. But good news. After this bye weekend, Lamar should be fully healthy to go back. But we hoping we have a defense to help him out and the special teams to help him out, and we get back on all 3 phases. The schedule is not too bad going forward to build up some momentum to try to get something done. Nobody's ever made it past only, I believe, 4 teams has made it with a 1-5 to the playoffs, but all of them got bumped out in the first or second round in the playoffs. Nobody ever got a Super Bowl with a 1-5 record, so it looks very gleam and grim for us and all. And I'm just hoping the best for our team. And that's all I had to say. Go Ravens. Go Ravens.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, we're gonna see what happens for you guys. Like I said, it's wide open. If Ravens go on a run, you can make things happen. Rams continue to be a strong contender and a team that no one wants to see in the playoffs, but they do have a lot of holes that they have to clean up. But other than that, they
We,
played a solid game.
hey, Sean, we got to patch up the birdhouse. We got some leaks, baby.
We got a lot of leaks, a lot of leaks. So before we talk about, shout out to my boy who's a huge Steelers fan. Before we talk about the Steelers game in particular,
Later for him.
uh, we're gonna flip it to
Right.
a conference. And I hope I have the right clip here. But typically, that you may not hear the audio, but everyone will. But you know the premise of this. Typically, Tomlin is very mute. He's very like Bill Belichick, like doesn't talk about much, keeps
Stoic.
everything
Yeah.
very, very stoic, keeps everything within the locker room, within the organization. But I cannot fault him for finally breaking that. And let's hear his comments real quick. And we'll talk about it. Let's see. Hopefully, I got the audio. Hopefully, you guys can hear it. Let me see.
To be honest, it was shocking to me. Um, Andrew Barry must be a lot smarter than me or us, because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening
Nah,
day
Sean.
starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings.
Yeah. So, Dad, just in case you didn't hear it, I have to see. But just in case you didn't hear it, basically he was referring to that Andrew Berry, the GM of the Browns, right? He said, "Hey, what's going on? Why would you know a team in your division, the Bengals, same division as the Steelers? You know they're hurting for a quarterback because Browning is not doing anything, right? They're hurting, they're bleeding, right? They want to get enough wins and to try to salvage their season." And Andrew Berry said, "Sure, no problem. Yeah, I'm not even looking at you guys in the same division. Sure, I'll give you Joe Flacco, a guy that you felt was worthy to start the Browns season. You just gave him up to your rival team, the Bengals, in the same division, knowing that they already got 2 wins. So Mike Tomlin's just like, yo, who does that, right? But to me, that tells you everything you need to know about Stefanski, Andrew Berry, the ownership. The Browns are a terrible organization. And I'm sorry, Myles Garrett says something negative or whatever, but he tired of losing, whatever. That's the bed you wanted to lay with. You wanted that money. You knew what came with it. You deal with it. You could have took $4 or $5 million less and went elsewhere, but you didn't want to do that. So
Yep.
you didn't go to a contender. We wanted him. The Eagles was on the market for him. A whole bunch of teams would have loved to have Myles Garrett, but you didn't want to go there. You wanted to stay with a sorry franchise. So anyway, any comments on that before as I pull up, in particular
Oh
what Mike
yeah, there's a
Tomlin
lot
said?
of comments. They showing their true colors. They showing what they are. They don't care nothing about the team winning. They have no aspirations of winning and all that. You see the way they very unprofessional how they do their trades. They very unprofessional how they raise up their quarterbacks, how they raise up their players. You got to be all talented by yourself and stay confident with yourself. Because if you're not confident on the Browns, well, you in trouble being with that organization. And Tomlin have every right to say, man, this is unheard of. You're not even respecting the game or way it go, the style of game. You don't trade a quarterback, whether he's a bum or not, to the team that's struggling. They thought he was more worthy than what they got. So that speaks volumes on Brown, the Bengals quarterback, to ask for Joe Flacco. And Joe Flacco, to me, whole and truly, he was a quarterback. He trashed now,
Right,
but you
right,
still went and did it. And I guess it shows if Joe Flacco get off on the Bengals and everything, it shows how bad the Browns are.
right. It is, and it shows you don't have no willing to win. Right, Tomlin's like, look, I don't care. I'm never trading y'all nothing within the division. That's just a rule, right? That's just a competitive rule. So anyway, um, just to kind of pull up the game, we won't talk too deeply about this. The Steelers was able to beat and handled business against the Browns 23-9. Aaron Rodgers was 21 for 30 for 235 yards in the air, 2 passing
Old
TDs.
Man River.
Old Man River, 0 sacks. Shout out to the Steelers' offensive line that really was able to protect Aaron Rodgers the entire game. He had a great passer rating. He was awesome. They did a solid job. They actually did pretty solid as a unit, getting 100 yards at least on the ground. And let's flip it to the Browns. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, I believe even shout out to DJ Metcalf. He only had 4 catches, but, man, he had one that was just powerful. With 95 yards and 1 TD. That was a huge off-season pickup for them. And then, of course, the defense just was doing their thing. You also had Jalen Ramsey. Shout out to him. Huge pickup from the Dolphins with 2 sacks. Great job by him. Just an overall, this is the Steelers that you want to see, where not only they're producing on offense, but the defense is stepping up in a big way. Now to flip it real quick, not going to spend too much time, but let's go to Dinkin and Duncan Dylan Gabriel. He was 29 for 52, 221, no TDs, no nothing. He was sacked 6 times for 38 yards. QBRs, it is what it is. For the most part, couldn't really get nothing with the rushing. Couldn't really get so much going with the passing. Couldn't get into the end zone to save their life. He was dinking and dunking. They gave him max protection. At times they gave him just 3 and outs, 5 and outs, little hitch, little post. They kept it really basic for Dylan. Didn't give him anything crazy. And I think this is one of the reasons why they won. One of the reasons why they lost. Excuse me. You also see that he struggled to look over the line. There are times he's stepping back. He's like tippy-toeing to kind of see targets down the field. I just don't think he's ever going to be worthy of a starting quarterback moving forward. I know they will continue to play him just because that's Stefanski's guy. But it's time to put Shedeur in. I think if Shedeur was playing and he had a whole week to prep, I think he would have had a couple of touchdowns in the end zone.
Yeah.
It would have been a different game. I think he's a better quarterback than Cam Ward. I still think Shedeur is one of the best quarterbacks in the whole draft class. But unfortunately, he's on a terrible team. But anyway, what's your thoughts on this? I feel bad for Shedeur, honestly.
Well, I'm going to start off with the Browns. I feel bad for Shedeur because they sabotaged him. I believe Kevin Stefanski should be fired right now as we speak.
Yes.
Dylan Gabriel is a career backup. No pun intended. Cool guy, must be. But he's a backup quarterback. He's an emergency entry. He might be a practice squad quarterback. Maybe. I give him the second backup as a backup more than I give him practice squad. But as far as what they're doing to Shedeur, it's sad. It's sad that we got in this space, got in this time zone with this negative push. It's real sad. The Browns defense supposed to be a number 1 defense. They suffering because they can't even go to the sideline and take 2 breathers because I ain't gonna diss him. DG can't see over the line, gotta see in gaps, gotta try to run. He ain't fast enough to get around the corners. The speed, he's stepping 4 times. They stepping 2 and they right on him. And that's the
Facts.
separation. He don't have that speed, he don't have that style, he don't have that moxie. You know what I'm saying? One linebacker tried not to pound him and bumped into him. He acted like he wanted to drag the man. Now, if the linebacker would have hit him and broke and bust him up, they'd have fined him, gave him penalties, and threw him out the game. But DG tried to act like he tried to drag him and pull him and don't you be hitting me like he was in a street fight. That's very unprofessional. Nobody ragged that around the news media, but they gonna try to everything Shedeur do. They want to jump on.
Right.
Listen,
He
the
pulled
man
he
is
pulled a dude
blessed.
helmet. Yeah.
Yeah. Try and then get no
They would have
penalty
called
for it.
Shedeur
But
out for that.
everything Shedeur do, they comment on everything. The man had to go so bad as act like a mime. You see what I'm saying? Just moving his lips because that's the way the media treated him. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a football league, professional football league, and they acting like kids on the Browns. I mean the adults, the true adults, the head coach, the owner, the GM. Come on, they acting like kids, like they got little marbles out there and they trading marbles. Which marble you gonna use? This
Right.
DG marble? I ain't using that Shador marble because it can't hit nothing. And Shador in that one preseason game, not the sabotage other game, the one preseason game, he looked marvelous, well endowed as an NFL quarterback. And then he saw how good he looked. The next game, he sabotaged him, and now he's trying to keep him out for the season. Stefanski need to be fired today. Today. And as far as the Steelers go, I'm going to get off the Browns. As far as the Steelers go, kudos to Mike Tom. Kudos, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan, but kudos to Aaron Rodgers for doing what he needed to do. I thought Aaron Rodgers was a bust going forward and backwards, but he showed that as long as he got good position around him, he's really a good quarterback. He's a Hall of Famer. For whatever it is, he's a Hall of Famer. I don't like his style, but he's a good football player that can throw the ball, spiral, and hit his guys at all times. And it's a shame. A man young just getting into the league, he can't hit nobody but 5 yard outs, 5 yard hook curls, and throw to areas that he know the wide receiver is going to be within under 10 yards. That's sad. 14
No,
the most, but that's very sad.
no, most definitely it is. It is. Shout out to Shador. We'll be watching from the
Yeah, we could go
sideline.
on, son.
We go
Go on.
all day.
There's more
Yeah,
excited professional football we could talk to, and our people that's listen to us could hear instead of this garbage. We want to hear all we want to hear from the Browns is Shador starting. Give him a good week of preparation and let him come out fighting, so he could
absolutely.
change the momentum and let him rise up to the occasion and be excited what the Giants did.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Because Junkins
All right.
in the back is a dude. He's a dude in the backfield, and your quarterback is the backup. That's another dude. Put that combination together and see what you get out of it, Browns.
Right. Yeah. All right. We're gonna move on from that game and everything like that. We're gonna go ahead and move on to man. This was a great game, and this was the Carolina Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Panthers was able to get the victory 30-27 over the Cowboys. One of the only games where I think even Jerry Jones was so speechless, he didn't even do a conference after the game, which is unheard of. Shout out to Rico Dowdle, who was on the Dallas
$2 million,
Cowboys.
Jerry.
Yeah, he was on the Cowboys for 4 seasons, I believe. I think he did special teams, whatever, running back, backup. They never really gave him a shot, let him go. And hey, even the Panthers, I don't think he was the starting running back. It was another running back for the Panthers, but he got hurt. Dowdle came in, and man, he has taken full advantage of his opportunity. He's becoming a new football superstar in
That
Charlotte.
dude ain't getting his job back.
He ain't
That
getting his
dude is
job
not
back.
getting his job back.
Rico Dowdle,
No, sir.
man, 2 games in a row over 200 yards from the line of scrimmage, almost 500 yards in the last 2 games from the line of scrimmage. Rico Dowdle was 30 carries for 183 yards, 6.1 yards per carry. He also had 4 catches, 56 yards with a TD. He was incredible, incredible. Bryce Young, 17 for 25, 199 with 3 passing TDs. He had 1 interception on the day, 1 sack.
That's
But
all right.
overall,
That's
he
all
was
right.
pretty
That's all
solid.
right.
He was spreading the ball around. Shout out to T-Mac, the draft pick, I believe, from Texas Tech. He had 2 touchdown catches yesterday. Shout out to Jimmy Horn, who was able to get 2 catches for 36 yards as well. I believe Jimmy Horn also had a rush for 1 rush for 11 yards as well. So shout out to Jimmy
All
Horn, who's getting
right.
some
All
PT.
right.
It was just a great
All
game,
right.
man. Overall, it was a great game. They handled their thing. Now, you know what's so sad? Dak has been great this season. 25 for 34, 261, 3 TDs. Dak has been phenomenal. Dak is having an MVP caliber year. Quarterback rating once again is 90. So it's not Dak. Dak is doing this. He's earning his $60 million a year. what the Dallas Cowboys is suffering, man, is their defense.
Yeah.
Their defense is garbage. It is just they
Yes.
can't get no
Yes. Yes.
pressures up front. And once again, Jerry Jones talking about I'm gonna get better by letting Micah go, and I'm gonna bring this other guy, and we got over their great defense. It turns out that you don't know what you're talking about, sir, because you guys are playing way worse without Micah right now. Y'all have no pass rush. There's no real rush, no real threat. Teams can run it
One
all over
man
y'all.
left.
One man left, and y'all just fell apart. And it's more than just him, but overall, that was a big piece that y'all lost. So anyway, shout out to the Panthers. Once again, the Cowboys is a dysfunctional franchise. I don't even know why they value $16 billion. They're not worth it to me. All their legacy happened in the early 90s. It's been almost 30 years, or it's been 30 years. It's time to move on. Like, you Cowboy fans kill me. It's time to move on. But anyway,
All the Cowboys are is a popular grocery store.
that's all.
That's why
That's
they
all.
16 billion. You go there and shop and wear the star and wear the colors. I know a lot of Cowboy fans. They overdone.
Right.
One of my mans is a Cowboy. Several brothers is Cowboy fan. I know a lady is a Cowboy woman, and it's just. And then my young cousin, he's a Cowboy fan. The home state of North Carolina took it to y'all and gave y'all the business with the running back y'all had on your team. You had Michael Parsons. You had Dobbins on your. What's his name again? Number
Rico
5.
Dowdle. Rico Dowdle.
Rico
Dowdle.
Dobbins. Rico. I wanted to say
Dowdle.
it right.
Dowdle.
Rico Dobbins. Y'all
Dowdle. Dowdle.
had him. Donald.
Dowdle.
Right.
Dowdle.
Doddle.
Dowdle. Yeah.
Doddle.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
There you
right.
go. Yeah.
Excuse me, people. Excuse me. I had to get that name right. Woo! But you had both of them cats. One was getting cheap money. It was time for him to get paid. You offer him $2 million. That didn't make no sense, if I'm correct. That didn't make no sense. So, boom, let him go. Try free agency. He got snatched up. And as always, I say, when you got a diamond, you treat it like cubic zirconia.
Right.
Somebody else
Right.
will turn that cubic zirconia into a real sparkling diamond.
Right.
He needed his edges and his insides and his outsides touched up. Now he's sparkling. He
Right.
got a 500,000 already. He only played 2 games. Dallas could have used that today, yesterday, games before in the beginning of the season, but you never raised them up in your farm team to get them ready to be that productive. But the Panthers did. Kudos to the Panthers. Go on with the Cowboys. I really don't have much for the Cowboys, but y'all do keep y'all tradition. Y'all ahead of the media all the time with other things, and it has nothing to do with football.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even say nothing else about the Cowboys. Again, our division is terrible, but the Eagles is not playing any better right now, so it is up for grabs. But Washington lost. I mean, right now, my Eagles could just get it together.
Washington shouldn't have lost.
They shouldn't have
Washington
lost.
shouldn't have lost. That
Yeah.
was like they didn't want the betting people to win or something. That was crazy.
Yeah. But let me go ahead and flip it to another game here. We got the Chargers and Dolphins. But before we get started, well, let me go ahead and let me run through this, and we're gonna talk about Tua for a second. But we got here the Chargers win 29-27. Justin Herbert was 29 for 38 for 264 yards with 2 passing TDs. He was only sacked 1 time. He had a really solid game. Man, Vital had 18 carries for 124 on the ground. They had a great passing and run game action, run and go this entire
That'll
game.
do. Yep.
That'll do it.
Yes, sir.
They actually got it done. Overall, man, look at this. McConkey was 7 receptions for 100 yards. My gosh, he was killing it with a TD. If you flip it over to the Dolphins, let's just be honest, man. We'll start with Tua, the man that want to talk all this stuff. 21 for 32, 205, 1 TD with 3 interceptions. Now, I would say real quick, 1 or maybe 2 of those interceptions technically wasn't on Tua. It went to the receiver. It came out of his hand. Bop went to the what's the name? But at
No,
the end of the day,
no, son,
but
son.
hold on, right. What you about to say? I'm just saying he
I
still
was.
put
I'm
it.
just saying no because when a guy catch a 1 yard pass and he run 60 something yards, he get a 61 yard pass on a pass, and the man only caught it 1 yard. So when you can get the credit for unfilled potential you didn't run, the wide receiver or the running back ran, you got to deal with you threw the ball, your wide receiver didn't catch it. It's a drop for him, but it's an interception for you. You got to take it just like you get it.
That's
If
true.
you understood what I was
No,
saying,
I
because
know. I
uh,
definitely get that.
uh,
No, you're right.
all right,
You can't get the credit, but not take the negative if the negative
the
come your way
blame,
too.
yeah,
You
you got to
gotta
take
take
the blame
right.
too.
Yeah,
You
you
got to
gotta take
take
it
the
both
blame
ways.
too.
And they had a solid running game. It's like they had 128 yards on the ground. Overall, Waddle was leading the receiver, 6 receptions, 95 yards. Overall, man, they just didn't really have a really good game. There was too many turnovers for them to overcome, and it's so crazy because despite all the turnovers, they only lost by 2, right? And then unfortunately, Tua, and I don't have the specific comments from Tua, and I don't even have the clip up, but he did talk a lot about players not coming to different not just the practice but film study or taking notes or doing all the things you're supposed to do, showing up to
But
meetings, et cetera, especially if they have a team meeting. Why would you air
he,
that out? Who would air that type
thank
of
you. What are
dirty
you
laundry
snitching for?
for?
What are you snitching?
Right.
Now you lost the players. The ownership don't really want you because they made a mistake by paying you. Now you snitch the guys out. They ain't gonna want to play for you no more. You probably gonna have a couple of fights in the stadium at practice because you running your mouth. What they allow, they allow. They know when you key in, they need a code to get in the stadium. They need a code to get out of the stadium. Don't just push the gate open because it's not for everybody to get in and out. So what they allow and they allow. They ain't got to let them people do that because they paying these players. That's
I'm,
what they allowing, the dysfunction. That's what
They
you
need to
got.
fire. They need to fire Mike McDaniel, who's not a man among men. He can't coach men. I'm sorry, he's too soft as a coach. They're walking
He's
all
a
over
high
him.
school coach.
He's a high school coach. They're walking all over him. He gonna say, yeah, the comments that was misguided or whatever. Even what he said, he didn't even sound convinced. He just sound, hey, people say what they say. It was the most embarrassing conference from a coach
Yep.
ever.
Yep.
They need to let him
Yep.
go. They need to clean house. They need to ship Tua off. I know
And yes,
they
yes,
need to ship
sir.
Tua
Yes, sir.
off. Send
Yes,
Tua to
sir.
another team. Maybe the Browns will take Tua and let them take Shador. Um,
Yes, indeed. Yes,
and
indeed.
and then go on from there because I honestly that franchise is toast. But what's your any
Yes,
other comments
indeed.
on this?
No, you were spot on. I'm not even gonna cross that up. You were spot on. I said put a stamp on it.
Yeah, I don't even know what to even say to that. But the next game we're gonna get into, um, man, I'm not gonna play the audio because there's a lot of audio, so we're gonna watch this in silence. For those that's looking at the screen, but I will talk through it. Let me pull this up here. We're gonna talk about the Detroit Lions and the Chiefs game. There was a
Mm.
situation that occurred where you had Deion Branch. Basically, it's the game is over. Now, there's some things. There's some things that did occur during the game, cheap shots or whatever, things that happen in a normal NFL game, where you can get hot about it, right? And when you know you that hot, you typically want to just go in the locker room, right? Because it's not worth getting fined. Like you're not making Mahomes money, right? 2, 3 million, $4, $5 million, a lot of money, but you're getting half that is taxed. So if they're taking $100,000 or $50,000 fine, that really hurts, right? It's not worth it. But unfortunately, towards the end of the game, he was heated. Now Mahomes, the game is over. Mahomes is like, hey, it's good sportsmanship. Let me go ahead and dap up Branch, man. Good game, right? and Branch just keep on walking, don't even stop, right? Mahomes still try to get his attention. He even tapped him in the back, right? Now, the whole time, Pacheco actually know that something's going on. Deion Branch must be saying something verbally. So Pacheco was behind him the whole time, like, yo, everything good? And yo, Deion Branch beeline directly to JuJu Smith-Schuster, and then did this and basically mushed him in his face. And then Pacheco's trying to push him back, and then boom, then the fight break out. You know, at the end of the day, Juju's not gonna get in trouble. He's just reacting from getting punched.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And come on, man, that was a sucker punch. Especially when JuJu was coming out like, hey, good game. You know what I mean? He basically thought like, and let me just go back real quick. If you look at JuJu, look, JuJu stuck his hand out. Good game. You see that? He literally stuck his hand out. So cheap shot. Unfortunately, it did cause.
And he should be suspended for the rest of the year. That shouldn't be tolerated because it looked trashy. Whether they're getting in your head and all that and talking, most people, it's hard for you to hold back. But you should have ran into the thing. They got your number for the game.
Right.
They beat y'all. Y'all usually the top dog. Y'all the bullies on the block, but y'all got bullied for that game. It was a good competition game. It wasn't a bad game. But Kansas City squeaked it out. When y'all hurt them, they hurt y'all twice. You know what I mean? Came back 2 times on you. And it was just a lot of mistakes made on both sides. But to know the game is over and you heated 50, he knew them cameras. He did that for a reason. And like I'm gonna say for a lot of things, like I said for Hurst previous, checking that man mental, because nobody will after a game wait around you by yourself and you want to act like you hard for your peoples in the street or whatever your entourage. Look stupid because you're gonna be broke with your entourage. That did not make sense. You taking money, donate that money to me that you wasted. Donate that money to me. Donate it to a real charity. Go give some inner city kids some sneakers, some clothes. Pay somebody rent, light bill, or something with that. Because you bull jobbing for no reason.
Right.
Chiefs, the Chiefs win. They won. The Detroit Lions are bounced back. But like these guys getting these fines, when people are struggling with this type of world we living in right now, they could give that money to other people that don't have what they have.
Right.
And I just think it's petty.
Right. And just to clarify, his name is Brian Pettit. I kept saying Dion. It's Brian Branch. Sorry, Brian Branch.
Brian Branch. Yeah, Brian Branch.
Brian Branch. And yes, Chiefs did win 30-17. And just I do want to highlight that, right? Because the Chiefs have had a tough year so far. They were 2-3, I think, coming into this game. But Worthy is back. A lot of their players are back from injury. And, man, they started to look like...
But who stayed the same, son? Who stayed the same? Who stayed the same? I tell you every time we talk about them, Mahomes stayed the same. Right. No matter what, I got great respect. I don't like the Chiefs. I got no skin in the game. But Mahomes stayed the most consistent out of being with the worst team with his guys getting knocked out. Now that they coming back in order, they adapted to him because he was already ready. He was always ready.
He's always ready. And he's seen it. 22 for 30, 257, 3 passing TDs. Right now, when you see the Chiefs play like this, you're like, oh, okay, AFC.
It's coming. Yeah.
It's coming.
And they beat a big dog. They didn't beat no small dog. They beat a big dog.
And look at Kelsey. 6 catches, 78 yards. Oh, boy.
Farewell tour. Tour. But like I said, he got in with the people that's coming back. Mahomes was already ready. Kelsey needed pieces to open up his floor game. You understand? Mahomes was already ready. Kelsey needed other pieces to do what Kelsey do. And kudos to him. You know what I mean? Because he did knock out one of his players. for a couple of games, but boom, he's swinging back in there, being tough about it. They was very tough,
Right.
and they deserved to win this game. He deserved a lot of hands. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So kudos to Kelsey. He's a strong player. He always been strong. He's not a punk. So I got nothing but respect for him.
Right, exactly. No, exactly. It was a overall. They did their thing. Detroit. It was shocking to see Detroit get the L, but when you got Mahomes playing like that, it's possible that they shut the team down. Even rushing wise, it was not typical because usually Detroit is going to go 200 yards, 150 yards, 200 yards on you, another 250, 300 in the air. Shout out to the Chiefs defense as well. They also stepped up. So we're going to see, man. Like I said, this is the year where everyone is vulnerable. There are no major contenders that's just basically handling business across the board.
Nothing. No. The
So
only one major contender is the Colts.
Right. The Colts. And I would say maybe the Buccaneers.
Yes, you know what? You spot on, bro. You spot on. Baker Mayfield is my. If he keep that up, he's my MVP for the year, bro.
Yeah,
him and the Colts quarterback,
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah,
they
Daniel
neck
Jones.
and neck right now for me. They neck and neck. If he keep on this pace, either one of them, whoever finished the strongest, should get it, hands down. Hands down.
Right.
Hands down.
No, absolutely. And just to show right quick, Buccaneers did win. Actually was a tough game, man, against the San Francisco, but they got the victory 30-19.
And they lost Fred, number 54. They lost him for the year.
They did lose Fred Warner for the year with the San Francisco, so that didn't help at all. But there was Baker Mayfield 17 for 23. Look how efficient he was. 256 in the air, 2 TDs. My gosh. I mean, the dude is just doesn't play games, man. He gets the job done.
And they run for the first down, weaving it in and out of and busting through 2 cats to stretch out for the first down shows that he a man among boys.
He's
a
dog.
Tough quarterback. He's a dog.
They're doing this without their most talented receiver.
Yeah, but that boy from Ohio State, he replacing that good time. It's hard to replace 1,000 yards a season, but he doing a hell of a job at this point.
No, it's most definitely. Mac Jones, 27 for 39, 347. Had a lot of passes.
Reality hit.
Yeah, 2 interceptions.
Reality hit.
It sure did.
Reality hit.
And they was able to get they couldn't get much more going after that. So once again, shout out to the Buccaneers. It was a bend but don't break defense from the Bucs. And then enough, on offense, Baker Mayfield was able to do enough to get it going and get the victory. They are a scary team. They only really lost to us. I think maybe they got one other loss. Other than that, they've been flawless. They've been doing their thing, man. So shout out to Baker Mayfield. Man, that's another team you just do not want on the schedule. And he is having an MVP type of caliber year.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk about the game that I attended in person. Man, oh, man. Anyone that could get got in the NFL, including those Buffalo Bills. I saw all those Bills fans talking so much smack.
Yes.
You know what I had to say to them? I said, hold on. I was talking to the Falcon fans, too. I looked at both of them. I said, hold on. How many rings do y'all got in y'all franchise history? Oh, I forgot. 0. 0. So y'all could talk all that smack. Y'all never won the big dance. So anyway, but Josh Allen, look, I was there in person. I don't even got to look at no stats. The Falcons was all over your boy. He couldn't get nothing.
Pressure.
The pressure was
son.
Intense. Shout out to the Falcons crowd. They were loud. They were hyped.
And they young.
They super young. Super young.
They
super
young.
Look at this. Pedestrian numbers from Josh Allen. That should tell you everything, right? 15 for 26, 180. 2 TDs, 2 interceptions. Wow. 4 sacks by the Falcons, right? Flip it over. You had a 20 for 32, very clean game from Penix, 250 in the air, 1 TD. He could have had 2 TDs, but unfortunately, right at half, he was a half a yard short from scoring a touchdown right at halftime. So,
Yeah, because his foot, if he'd have kept his right leg up, he would have scored
he
that
would have
touchdown
scored. He would
because
have
he
scored.
he got
Right,
over, but that foot touchdown first.
right, right. It was a great atmosphere. I'm gonna tell you, man. Jeezy performed halftime
I,
show.
I
Tigger
you
was
sent
the
me the you
yeah. I sent you
you
the
sent
video.
me the picture.
Yeah,
It was beautiful. It looked like a
yeah.
big donut.
Yeah. The screen is just beautiful. All the ATL rappers, superstars are all in attendance. They have Rico Dash. I mean, the amount of music and hip hop being played in there, it's a party when you go to a Falcons game. But look, man, the team provided that party too. You had Robinson, 19 carries for 170, 9 yards per carry, one TD. Could have had another TD, but it definitely gave him some rest. Had his other man get some time,
he,
and
he was out of breath.
he definitely was. But overall, they had a great game. This was a statement made by the Falcons that hey, they got what it takes to get a victory. They just got to keep putting it together. They put it together every game. Yo, they could be a solid team in their conference. Cause who they right
And
now? I know,
say
yeah. Cause they with the
say one
Bucks, right?
thing that you told me.
We're talking
You
about
told me that the only one that'll mess this up with this team right now is Penix. He doing
right.
a good job, but
So
he
so
gotta get himself together.
so that was the one thing that I saw, and you could really see it being there in person. You probably wouldn't see it as much on TV, but maybe you would. One thing I did see is the man is inaccurate. Don't look at the 20 for 32. I know what I saw. Those are 12 misses was clearly on him, not because of defensive play. He had quick 7 and outs, 5 and outs. He had some broken up plays. He got the receiver right in front of him, and he throws the ball sailed over his head, or he throw it at his feet. So he is not as accurate. And it's funny because he was known from college to be really accurate, but he has some really poor throws. So hopefully he cleans that up. He gets better, and they could be dangerous. They could be dangerous. So shout out to the Falcons.
Hey,
What's up?
my thoughts are the Falcons look good. I'm happy for their coach. I was happy he finally got something. You know what I mean? Being that he got something. You know what I'm saying? Because they playing like they want to win. They playing like they want to play for him. I didn't want him to go to Atlanta and then in a couple of years they get rid of him. He got that team moving in the right direction. He got 100% support by the owner. The owner's a good owner. He treat the fans of Atlanta real good. He don't overcharge them. He don't overdo nothing. He said, this is a game I want y'all to come see years ago. And I remember he said that, why should I take all of your money when you have to pay these ticket prices to get in the stadium? So, you know what I mean? He got a shared interest with the fans, and all owners should do that instead of being all only about the greed. Well, kudos to Atlanta, but the Bills got to do some soul searching. And Allen, you going back to your old ways, Allen. No matter how marvelous you are, the media then talked you up, put you as this Superman, and now you
Right.
look like somebody hit you with kryptonite because you're throwing more interceptions than you have in a while. You back to your old self. You're overhyped. You're doing it now. You back to the Buffalo style ways, and you ain't
Right.
gonna win no playoff games like that. I'm hoping we can answer the bell with all this turmoil going around the league, and I hope we get ourselves together because it looked like you ain't gonna need but so many games to make it to the playoffs. The way everything's going, because everybody can beat everybody except the really, really bad teams. And I'm not giving them no credit. The really, really bad teams ain't hurting nothing.
Right.
But the good
I agree.
teams that's go through a spell, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, we're going to cover our last game for the NFL. We got to cover it here. It's going to be the Bears beating Washington 25-24. Caleb Williams was 17 for 29 with 252 in the air, one passing TD. He was sacked 3 times. But you also had DeAndre Swift, who was able to get 14 carries for 108 on the ground. They also had additional rushing that also contribute to the solid victory. If we look at the Commanders and look at Jaden Daniels, he was very efficient, right? 19 for 26, 211, 3 passing TDs, but he did have a costly interception. He was sacked 3 times. Overall, between Jalen Daniels and Jakari, they was able to get over 100 yards on the ground. But it just really came down to the end, man. The field goal victory by the Bears. It really could have went either way. It was a nasty, wet game as well. It's not ideal for any team to play in. But at the end of the day, Mr. They got so many nicknames for Kyler Williams because he painted his fingernails. They said that's the reason why they're losing. No, he had his fingernails painted and they won, right? So it had nothing to do with it, right? He's definitely a solid quarterback. It's just one of those things where they have to put it all together and make things happen. Me, I have no care in the world that Washington lost. They had our division. I'm happy. Keep losing. Keep losing. But anyway, what's your thoughts on this game?
My thoughts is that it was a fair game, but Washington Commanders shouldn't have never lost this game. That was a mental blunder by the Washington Commanders quarterback. You love him when he's good. You got to love him when he do bad. He's still a young cat. It's his second season, and he's still thinking it through. He was happy when he threw them touchdowns. Kudos to him. But he got to be like any other quarterback. He got to be held accountable for that blunder fumble that he caused by having shaky hands. If you got wet hands, you're supposed to have a towel with you so you can dry your hands off so you can get the ball. Other than that, that was his fault that they lost.
Right.
The Bears did decent. The Bears could have lost this game, but they fought. That's a good test to their franchise of where they're going. Williams is looking better, but the players around him is playing better. They feel like they can win now. So I give that to all the coaching of the Chicago Bears. They feel like they can win now, so they're gonna battle to the end. Before they should have been lost this game in the third quarter, but they battled until they got their feet wet. And once they tasted that victory, and then a kicker right off the street came and did a winning field goal. He was on a practice squad. He came. San Francisco released him, and now he came to the Bears and kicked the winning field goal. So kudos to him.
No, absolutely. It was a solid game. Once again, congratulations to the Bears and everybody in that division. It's a tough division. You got Minnesota, you got them. You also got, I believe you got Green Bay. That's a tough division. But, hey, Commanders keep losing, baby. No complaints from me. Honorable mention, I'm not even going to pull up the image for this guy, but the Titans once again lose again. They did fire Coach Brian Callahan. He was the coach for 2 seasons, right? Finished 4 for 19 across his 2 seasons. And honestly, the team cited a lack of sufficient growth, right? Underperformance, especially given expectations with the rookie quarterback Cam Ward. They didn't do anything with Cam Ward this year. And could be, and be honest, could be also Cam Ward. There's some flashes where he looks great, but there's also a lot of flashes where he's indecisive and it doesn't know what decisions to make. So anyway, you'd never like to see a coach get fired, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. What can you do? All right, so we're going to switch it to college. We're going to blitz through these real quick. I know we gotta give y'all a nice long episode. We making up for lost time. So appreciate you guys hanging in there with us. As always, please make sure you provide comments, likes, and subscribe. But we're gonna flip it real quick. I'm not gonna spend too much time with this because once again, this is only their 3rd victory. But shout out to the Colorado Buffs. They did get the job done, beating Iowa State 24-17. Caden Salter was 16 for 25, 255 in the air with 2 passing TDs. Also, between Hayden, Salter, Welch, they were able to get 140 yards on the ground as a team, as a unit. Salter looked really, really comfortable this game. Shout out to the O-line that was protecting him nice, giving him a nice pocket. He made better decisions. He really learned from that last game. He heard the criticism. He heard it. And this was a ranked team too. It's not like this was a bum team they played against. This was an Iowa State ranked team. They're a pretty solid team, and Colorado got the job done. So shout out to Coach Prime, Team Riley behind him. I know he's been going through a lot with his blood clots. He had surgery and still was able to come a few days later and be there on the sideline for his team. Shout out to Coach, man. He got a heart of a lion, and they were able to get everything done. On Iowa side, hey, not much. 18 for 33, 205 in the air, one interception. But they are a big-time rushing team, so that is not looking good for Colorado, man. They couldn't stop they couldn't stop anything on the ground. Looks like they had 236 yards as a team on the ground, but it didn't matter. It didn't lead to a whole bunch of points, and Colorado was able to get the victory. Any thoughts on this game from you?
Not really. Just kudos, Colorado. Keep fighting a good fight. Bring the excitement back to the school. Um, God bless you, Dion. Hope you get to be 100%. I know you got God on your side, so anything is possible. Keep fighting. Keep pushing them young men. The wide receivers, Miller and forgot the other young man name. They doing well. Keep them in the game. Keep the same thing pushing, and y'all should be more successful going forward. Iowa State, you are who you are. That's all I got to say on that.
Right, exactly. That's all we can really talk about when it comes to them. Um, all right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna flip it over to another game for somebody we've been criticizing. And you could probably still give him some criticisms, but shout out to Texas Longhorns getting it done versus a highly ranked, I think number 6 ranked Oklahoma Sooners, 23-6. They got it done.
Good
Arch
game.
Manning was dinking and dunking, of course. 21 for 27. He had 166 in the air, one passing TD. He also had 4 carries for 34 yards on the ground. Wisner also had 22 carries for 94 yards on the ground. Relatively solid. Shout out to the defense of Texas. You haven't seen them play that well since the first week when they played Ohio State. My gosh, they shut the Sooners down. If you flip it over to the Sooners, they had 202 in the air, 3 interceptions by Mater. Now, John Mater was supposed to be your top draft pick. Y'all was saying? Okay, so
Well, I'm
just,
not gonna hate on him. I'm
no,
not.
no, I'm
He
not.
been consistent.
He
He just
has
ran into a brick wall.
a serious brick wall. But I
Yeah.
say all of that to say they keep saying this is the best quarterback draft class. I don't know.
They
It's
know
just
it's a lot. Anybody can hype because they trying to save. They don't want the position players to take over the draft. They want them quarterbacks to come out. Them quarterbacks gonna drop to the second round, the end of the first round, and stuff like that. Ain't no number one quarterback coming out. And if Arch come out, in my opinion only, he should stay. He got enough money backing to come out where he won't be starving for the rest of his life. So he could come out, risk his NFL career, he still be okay for the rest of his life. So he did subpar. He it got to play his game. When they tried to play Texas game, 40 points, 34 points, and more points than that, that's not his game right now. His game is running. He's trying to be a dual threat with dinking and dunking, little small passes here and there, take off because you think he's gonna pass. So he's a really good athletic, but other than that, all defense, all special teams did this game. So I give the overall team credit for this victory over a quality opponent. That's all I got to say.
yeah. That's all you really can say. Shout out to him and they got the job done. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull this game up real quick. Only just for a split second. Um, don't even want to pull again. I was gonna just do an honorable mention. Um, but we have here
Yeah,
Northwestern beating Penn State 22-21. We're not even
should
going
have
to
been an
get into this
honorable
game.
mention.
Honorable mention. I'm not even going to say much. James Franklin has been let go as the head coach of Penn State. Lost 3 games in a row, even though one of those games was to Oregon. At the end of the day, all the teams they beat were like throwaway teams, and in the last two games, it was UCLA and Northwestern. Your roster
Wow.
is loaded for the playoffs. That's bad coaching, bad execution. You gotta go. You cannot win
Your
the big
roster
games.
is players that's going to be in the NFL.
Right. You can't win the big game. The history says so. You can't win the big game. You haven't been able to win the big game, and that's been the Achilles downhill for the Penn State. So, what more can we really
Hey,
say?
and I say it all the time. Like I heard somebody was saying it earlier. Um, if the players is held accountable, the coaches got to be held accountable equally. It can't
Right.
just be your job is kept and my job is lost. When we all accountable, we go a little bit harder to fight for
Right.
victories. If we're not all accountable, one of us gonna lag.
Right.
So who's gonna lag? Got to get off the team.
Got to.
College or pros. College or
Got to.
pros.
Got to. I agree. Got to. And we got two more games here for college that we wanted to review real quick. Obviously, this is a big game. You have Indiana, and you also have Oregon. Indiana with a big victory over, I believe, number 3 Oregon, 30-20. My gosh, Mendoza 20 for 31, 215. Not a flashy game, but just overall between the defense and the offense is executing as a whole. 1 TD, 1 interception. You have Hamby, 19 catch, 70 yards with 2 rushing touchdowns. Got the job done. Defense stepped up big for Indiana, slowing down Oregon in key areas to go ahead and get this game turned around, and got a big victory. Oregon was 21 for 34, 186 in the air. That's it. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, man. And then even on the ground, relatively pedestrian for Oregon's team. This is how you want to execute against a high-flying West Coast-style team like Oregon. And they got it done, man. This is a statement win. And I think this is the first time in history where quality win and a statement win. I don't even know in history they ever beat a team this highly ranked like that. I think this was the first time. I had to check on that. But shout out to Indiana. They got the job done. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, just great job getting the job done. Oregon usually take people out in the quickness in the first half. The game be over with, but they balanced it out and they took it right to them. Whatever they was dishing out, they dished it out a lot better, and they got the victory. So kudos. I never thought I'd be saying Indiana beat Oregon, but it was a big victory for them, and shout out to them. That's all I
Yeah.
got for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And shout out to, I know this is all topic, but shout out to the Las Vegas Aces who won the WNBA championship. And Aja
Yes.
Wilson, who's won what? MVP of the league, NBA, the
Scoring
WNBA
title,
MVP, scoring title, Defensive Player of the Year.
defensive player,
I mean,
MVP of the league, MVP of the finals, champion. She just took home. She got all her rings in 1 year. Nobody ever did it. I don't know what you call it, quadruple, whatever. You got to call it something, but she's the lady of football, the lady of basketball, lady of
right,
professional basketball. Sorry,
right,
y'all. We don't say it much, but we need to say it more often. Women's sports is the key, and it's really getting better and better and better. And salute to the women that
right.
play sports. Salute
And
to
I
them all.
absolutely shout out to her. Honorable mention: Florida State did lose to Pitt. No surprise. They've been having a tough year this year. Overall, college is wide open. It's one of those other, just like the NFL, man. It's so wide open. Alabama is starting to play a lot better as a team. Teams are really stepping up. It's going to be a collision course these next couple of weeks just to see what teams really land in the playoffs. But football hasn't been this exciting in a long time. It's getting better and better. NFL is so much drama. You don't know who's going to actually – we don't know. I mean, there are some standout teams in each division who you could say is going to definitely make the playoffs. but you really don't know. Um, so anyway, this
Can
has been great. What's up?
can I make an honorable mention?
What's
Hey,
up?
Chad, make some comments on this. Give me the percentages that Shador start this week, whether it's as 1% to 100%. Let me know. Come on, hit me with them comments, y'all, to let me know if Shador is going to start this week. What is the percentage of him starting, please? And I will shout out who got the closest percentage to him starting.
I would say starting this week, I would say even it's what's the high possibility or chance of him starting by week 10, right? Like I have this feeling that they're going to continue to play Dylan, no matter how many times they lose.
That's why I'm throwing the odds in, son, because it could
Yeah.
be 50-50 or he has zero chance to start this week.
Right, right. I think he will eventually start though. I just don't think it's going to be the
Yeah, I
last
think so too.
four or
But
five
I
weeks of the
just wanted to
season.
know. We might get surprised because
Yeah,
if they fire Savansky, they putting Dylan Gabriel on that bench so quick and pass him that clipboard. So you hold this and watch how a quarterback
yep,
do it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
fast, if they take care of that man today, Shador will play this Sunday.
They're not letting Stefanski go because he made the playoffs with them a few years ago, and they're like, oh wow,
That he's garbage. Please stop that stuff he's doing. The way he's handling the team, the way he's doing stuff, the way he did the summer practice, OTAs, and all
was
that. He's
crazy.
not a professional coach.
Right,
They
I
just
agree.
gave it to him because they didn't want to give it to nobody else.
I agree.
Period.
But as
Period.
always, y'all, please like and subscribe, comment, provide y'all
Please,
thoughts. Sorry
please.
we took a while. I promise I'm not going on any vacations or anything, not until Thanksgiving week. But but up until that, I'll be here tuning in. I had a great time going to both MetLife on Thursday night in New York or New Jersey, and on Monday night, just coming back from Atlanta, being at that game. So despite going to back-to-back night games like that was an honor. I had a really great time. It's nothing like going to an NFL game in person. It's nothing like it. Other than that, we're going to keep doing what we do. Any last words from you?
Yes, like I always say, keep God first. Take care of yourself. Go to your doctor visits. Keep yourself motivated. Stay positive, and keep all the negativity from around you. And enjoy sports. Enjoy your time out here, and be safe out in this world, please, everyone. God bless you
Absolutely.
all.
Absolutely. God bless. Peace.